This is Nitish, and this is Plum's initiative, which is Prelims Level Up MCQ series. Here we discuss 5 MCQs daily, and this will help you in your UPSC preparation. Today is episode number 242, and I am dealing with economics MCQs. Before starting this class, I would like you to please subscribe the channel and also like and comment on videos. These contents are free of cost, so for test series and foundation video, you can contact to Vice Sir on WhatsApp 7200 681 675. So let's begin. Today's MCQ number 1 is, with reference to capital market in an economy, which one of the following statement is correct regarding social stock exchange? Statement A. It is a platform for investors to donate their small percentage of earning towards social and humanitarian cause. Statement B. It will be a portal for corporate entities to invest in social sectors under corporate social responsibility. Statement C. It aims to streamline the funds from various government and private agencies into public schemes dedicated to upliftment of vulnerable sections of the society. And last statement D, which is it will help social and voluntary enterprises to raise capital in the form of equity or debt or a unit of the mutual fund. So I will give you 10 seconds. Try to answer this question. So its correct answer will be option number D. That is, it will help social and voluntary enterprises to raise capital in the form of equity or debt or a unit of mutual fund. Social stock exchange is a platform that allows investors to invest in select social enterprises or social initiative. The aim is to help social and voluntary enterprises to raise capital in the form of equity or debt or a unit of mutual fund, which is the last statement, that is statement number D. That's why the statement number D is the correct one. MCQ number 2. Who among the following is the final authority to determine the fair and remunerative prices of sugarcane in India? Statement A. Commission for Agriculture Cost and Prices. Option B. Department for Agriculture and Farmer Welfare. Option C. Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. And last option D, that is Ministry of Finance. I will give you 10 seconds. Try to answer this question. Its correct answer will be option number C, that is Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs is the final authority to determine fair and remunerative prices of sugarcane in India, which is option number C. Apart from that, FRP is the minimum price that sugarcane mills have to pay to sugarcane farmers. FRP is determined by central government on the basis of the recommendation of Commission for Agriculture Cost and Prices. So, this is extra information regarding fair and remunerative prices. Move on to MCQ number 3. Which among the following is considered the best mode of financing the fiscal deficit? Option A. Borrowing from the market. Option B. Monetization of the deficit. Option C. External aid. Option D. Raising the tax slabs. So I will give you 10 seconds. Try to answer this question. So its correct answer will be option number C, that is external aid, which means external aid is the best mode of financing the fiscal deficit. Now let's look at the explanation. What is fiscal deficit? Fiscal deficit is basically the excess of total expenditure of the government over the total non-debt creating receipts. External aids are the best money as a means to fulfill a government's deficit requirement, even if it is coming with soft interest. If they are coming without interest, nothing could be better. That's why the option C is the correct one. MCQ number 4. It is a strategy used by the government, which means it is basically the paragraph describes certain things, the options which you have to correct. It is a strategy used by the government to counter boom or recession through fiscal measures. It is a expansionary during recession and contractionary during booms. Further balanced budget is not followed during the implementation of these policies. The above paragraph best describes which of the following policies used by the government. So, on the basis of this paragraph, you have to identify the correct option. Option A, automatic stabilizer. Option B, counter-cyclic fiscal policy. Option C, expansionary monetary policy. And option D is pro-cyclic fiscal policy. I will give you 10 seconds, try to answer this question. So, its correct answer will be option number B, that is counter-cyclic fiscal policy. So, I will explain the first of all what is cyclicity. Cyclicity of fiscal policy refers to direction of change in the government expenditure and taxes relative to economic output or condition. A counter-cyclic fiscal policy refers to a strategy by which government to counter boom recession through fiscal measures. It works against the ongoing boom and recession trend, and basically explanation is already given in the paragraph part of the counter-cyclic fiscal policy. And here I also explain the two concepts, that is cyclicity of fiscal policy and counter-cyclic fiscal policy. Last MCQs of today's class, that is MCQ number 5. Which one of the following statement correctly describes the objective of GLUE grant scheme? Option A. The scheme provides grant to higher education student through merit-based examination for pursuing research in specialized fields. Option B. The objective of the scheme is to inculcate values among elementary school children through glue memory retention technique. Option C. It aims to encourage institutions in the same city to allow their students to take classes from each other. Option D. The scheme works to prepare bridge courses for alternative medicine students in order to practice modern medicine with limited applicability. So I will give you 10 seconds, try to answer this question. So its correct answer will be option number C. That is, its objective is to encourage institutions in the same city to allow their students to take classes from each other. And the explanation itself, it is already written that under the GLUE grant scheme, institutions in the same city would be encouraged to share resources, equipments, and even allow their students to take classes from each other. Ultimately, the faculty will be available to design joint courses, and a Delhi University student will be able to take a few classes at IIT Delhi or vice versa. This is the statement number C. So that's all for today. Hope you like the content and video. So next episode will be tomorrow. So please subscribe and stay tuned. Thank you.